What's up, y'all? I'm Nick Lamar, and you're listening to Parkside Radio. On today's episode, we are breaking down pretty words for my new project, Parkside. But before we jump into it, I have some special guests with me. Returning, we have Mr. Ray Quasi Nelson, and a new special guest today is Mr. Ike Carter. Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
It's cracking, folks.
What's up?
How y'all doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm ready to talk about this song. Ready to jump off in it. Trying to figure out where should I start. Let's start off with the critics. So I produced this song in conjunction with Mr. Quasi here and Mr. Carter here mixed and mastered it for us. And this is one of my favorite songs. I remember creating it, and the first thing that came to mind was like, when I was making the beat, it was like, I don't know, like a botanical garden almost, like butterflies and like nature, but it was almost in like this, almost like a fuck you type thing. It's like, I see like the fly, I don't know how to explain it, but the song really came from a place of, at the time, a lot of people were promising me things and saying that they were, oh, you're gonna get this gig, you're gonna get this, and we're gonna take you to China, I'm gonna take you wherever, and all this other stuff. But it was just, just a bunch of words, and I really couldn't understand that. So I did the best thing I could and wrote it down in a song, made a little poem out of it, and then I turned it into a little love record. And the song is just so meaningful to me. Like sometimes when I listen to it, I kind of tear up a little bit at the end of it, because I don't know. It's just, for me, it's powerful because the song is basically about me having conversations with myself about what to say, and then by the end of the song, I'm out of my head and I'm talking out loud, because you can't, you know what I'm saying? And it's one of those songs to where it's like, it's bittersweet. Especially at the ending, when I say I can't see you and I say it again, it's like, dang, I want to see you, but like you like lying to me and you like give me all these false promises, and I can't do that.
Yeah.
So
I gotta detach.
Yeah. I gotta detach. I gotta remove myself.
Was it called Pretty Words when you originally? Was it always the title?
No, it was Star.
Like Stargazing or something.
Star Scream, I think it was. I don't know what I was going through with the star phase. I have a song, Star Scream, Starfire, Star Ocean. But I give songs code names for whatever reason. But yeah, I don't know when it changed into Pretty Words. I think I was trying to figure out like, what am I gonna call this thing? Like, and
why Pretty Words?
Because I feel like that title kind of encapsulates my intent of the song. It's like, what people mean when they say, oh, pretty words. You know what I mean? It's like you just saying it. It's no follow through. It sounds good. And I feel like a lot of the times, we can all relate in the industry. It sounds good, but it never actually works out. And I also remember reaching out to you, Ray. I remember because I was making the beat and I was like, you know what? It needs extra oomph. It needs extra. It needs some more, vision on it. So talk to me about the first time you heard it and what inspired you to jump on it, to make those changes?
Like a lot of the beats that we work on or have worked on for this project specifically, I really don't remember. Like when I remember hearing the song, but I can't tell you when I sat down and kind of started to twinkle the keys. But off rip, the song, like I don't even remember what the original version was. You know what I'm saying? I would have to hear it to put myself back into that time. But I just remember more recently, even after you had got the song to a pretty good space, and I think before then I would probably come and do some stuff on Logic. But I was like, the song. I was like, we can really make it give it some more body.
Yes.
Make it just hit a little more, so we can really bring out the emotions that you were, you know what I'm saying, talk about, make people feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we had already had Hippie on it
Yes.
at that time.
Yes.
When it goes to that little outro part.
Oh,
you know
yes.
what I'm saying? That was really my favorite part when it goes. Because the song, I used to get frustrated hearing this song myself because the song, when it goes into that deep voice, there's a song that I used to listen to back when I was in high school. And I listened to that song all the time. And I can't for the life of me remember what that song is. And
This was the song. You was listening to this.
I was listening to this song 15 years ago. It's crazy. So, but yeah, I knew we can do some more body. And then, you know, once Ike came in and really just meshed everything together.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It was,
Yes.
yeah. So
Speaking
shout out
of-
to Hippie.
Shout out to Hippie, most definitely. Shout out to Hippie. Try to get him on one of these episodes. But speaking of Mr. Carter, tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Carter. Tell us what you do, and how you got involved.
What doesn't he do?
Right. What doesn't he do? My God.
Mixed records now. Trying to.
You doing it?
Right. Doing it. Trying to keep that for a minute. But, you know, long time engineer and producer. Good friends of you both. You know, share memories together. Rap brothers, all that good stuff like that.
Fan you.
You know, FAMU. Shout out to the rappers.
Shout out to the Bulls.
And I mean, you know, I just try to achieve greatness at what I do every day. That's a little bit about me, I guess. So just leave it right there.
Well, at least on the musical front and the film front, you are achieving greatness because we've been working together for quite some time. Actually, since people don't know, we've been trying to work together since Bel Air days. You know, you were sending us some records that we didn't use for the project. But I was so excited to finally actually work with you for a whole project because just understanding what you bring to the table and your vision and your dedication to your craft is essential. You know, we talk about that, you know, a lot.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta have people around that they have that drive and that passion that they really want because it's gonna make things blossom, blossom into these, great ideas and things. So tell me a little bit about just tell me about what drew you to this song in particular, because I know you were saying that this is one of your favorites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. For sure my favorite on the project. Personal favorite, but I think a few different reasons. So I remember the first time you played it for me. Mm-hmm. Walked out the studio, sat in the car, and you played it. And I cracked tears halfway through. But joy, because when I heard the grand musical progression that you made, like musically and sonically, you know what I'm saying? I think everybody might not have understood, but I understood what it meant the moment I heard it. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was powerful for me too because it's kind of like sound engineer's blues. You know what I'm saying? Been an engineer for professionally at least for over 10 years, right? And I can tell you, just like a lot of other engineers can tell you, everybody wants you to be their engineer. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go to the top of this. You're gonna do this for us. You know, just be humble. Just do this for now. You know, and it's literally always pretty work. You know what I'm saying? I have to look and then you find a way to try to massage your way out of it in a professional sense. You know what I'm saying? But that's literally what I hear all the time. You know what I mean? And you have to try to find that balance. You know, so to hear you convey it in such a creative way really hit home for me. You know what I'm saying? Because artists been telling me that I'm gonna ride to the top of them since 2006. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I had to get to the point where I realized it's like, nah, I have to put myself on.
Right.
I have to have feed my own, you know. So
right. You taught me that too. Put yourself on.
So that I think the song was very special in those ways, just emotionally before even the technical part. You know what I'm saying?
Did you, with this particular song, was there any particular thing you did different with the mix, or your approach that you did different? because you were so involved with it, like was
Yeah.
there?
Yeah. So I think one of the reasons this is probably my favorite. Well, it is my favorite song on this project. But it was a challenge for me sonically because the first time I heard it, I knew where it needed to go. I knew the end goal.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of mixes you kind of like you play in the mix until you arrive there. Like, oh, okay, here we go. It's like I knew where it had to end. I just had to figure out how to get there. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. That's the thing.
But that, so for me that was the fun part. And then by the time Quasi got tapped in, because you guys already had it on a certain place, but then he came back to really. I think they went through a mix or two, and he heard it, and then we knew the drums and everything needed to be dialed in a little more. So I appreciate that song because I think it also showed us all like the process. Like you have to create, come back. Sometimes you gotta try to polish it one time, you know. And I understand that as an engineering mixer too. Like, gotta let it breathe. Come back to it. Somebody say that drum. Like I know at the last minute, y'all threw at the last minute, Quasi threw a rich right at me. With those kicks in the beginning. I listened to that song. Those kicks were never in there. You know.
But it worked. We gave it.
But
a shot.
it worked. And so yeah, I mean that's the beautiful part about the music. And that's also the beauty of everybody being on the same page, like sonically and all that. So my approach to it definitely was a little different, just because I knew it had a special, like mid-range to high-end character that needed to come out, especially with the vocals. I hear the power in the vocals, you know. And so for me, it was about that song really making sense in a big live concert. And I wanted to feel that power that I hear in my head. And so there was a lot of kind of, you know, adding the icing on to that side of the cake. You know what I'm saying? If it makes sense. And definitely just kind of, it has this nice like round bottom to it. You know what I mean? It's not sloppy. It's not all over the place. It's very much so a whole song to the whole mix. So for me, it was just about like being delicate to the very end. And
to
then,
the very end.
To the very end.
You know, I love that ending. The part you added, that part around that. I'm like, Lord have mercy.
The ending is fun too. The ending is fun.
From that little bridge part on out, my God.
Serious. It gets serious.
And I did something a little different with Hippie too. I put a little extra processing in. I know
on that guitar.
Yeah,
sir. Because it really feels like it just feels a part of it. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, this is a guitar solo, or or is that a guitar? It just meshes with maybe like the way you put that verb or whatever. You know what I mean? That thing lay in there.
Okay, shout out to Hippie. My God. My goodness. Oh my God.
Shout out to Nick.
You wrote this?
Yeah, I wrote this
solo?
Yeah.
We need you to go through it like that again.
It happens like that. I remember that's how it kind of happened when I wrote Intuition. I remember I was getting the beat from you. You played it for me, and instantly the words were coming out of the wall. And so with this one in particular, for whatever reason, Mariah Carey, she inspired this one. I don't know, like something from like just how she sings and how she uses her falsetto. I was just like, I know people like when I do that. Let me see if I can tap in. And I tapped into that, how she inspires me, you know, as a writer, you know, and I was just like, let me see what I can do. Because I was thinking like, I need to get some, because I feel like in that time period, Quasi, you was telling me about melodies and like coming up with different type of melodies and just like.
That pre-hook. That was always I said yes. That part, I ain't in my good voice today. Excuse me.
That's right.
I'm on this
You
cold
take all
water,
mistakes
I have
in
my
there.
teeth. But y'all know what part. It's like the pre-hook, right?
Yeah.
Sing it for the people.
Dang, what's the key?
Oh, put you on the spot.
You love me, yeah. You don't even seem to fuck with me. So why you bother me, yeah. I can see you right now, baby. You blow my heart, don't like
Worship.
it. Won't change my mind, you show me all that I need to see. Yeah, you don't fuck with me.
Ooh, that's it. When I heard that's it, boy.
Amen.
I've seen the Mariah Carey to my watches. Isaac, I wanted to ask you, do you have any like inspirations that you look up to as far as like engineers and like producers and stuff like that? Because so the sounds that you come up with, I love them. Like some of your melodies you put in the song. We working on the song now. You know what I mean? And like the melodies, like I'm like yes. Yeah. So like, what are some of your inspirations?
Definitely engineer wise, I think Guru's amazing. Just what he did with Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
And things like the Black Album that just had Pharrell and Tim
Black
different timbres and stuff like that. So that's why I appreciate when Quasi starts to throw in like these timbre drums and I can do all this different stuff with it. But I used to be actually a big Lil Jon fan.
Really?
Used to be. I don't know why.
Lil Jon is the GOAT.
Lil Jon made me fall in love with electronic sounds
and
synths.
Because he used to do a lot of that.
Yeah.
He still do sometimes.
Yeah. And then over time, I think I just kind of grew to love a lot of engineering is like reverb and compression, right, and EQ. But when I'm producing, I like to think about a lot of that stuff too, like putting reverb on different things and stuff like that. So, definitely always love Pharrell, always love Timberland, but true people that I was like, man, I want to be like that a little bit or like achieve that. Definitely Mike Dean from a sound engineering standpoint, Travis Scott, Don Toliver.
Oh, yes.
What they're doing right now is grand.
That Don Toliver project.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And
Shout out Don Toliver, we need to do some work.
Yes. Yeah. And actually, Tyler the Creator. Yes. I've always been a fan from afar, but now I'm starting to really dive in more.
He's dope.
Yeah.
For sure.
Has a very unique like sound.
Yeah. Yeah. And then who else? I mean, I appreciate everybody in the game. You know what I'm saying? I really do. But and Leslie Britway. Shout out to Leslie Britway, mix engineer in Atlanta. Definitely just being in the room next to him, hearing his mix come through the glass. You get myself together. Yeah. So I mean, there's a few of them out there that I look up to, but at the same time, I'm very much so aware of where I'm at with it now. And try to create my own type of thing.
Your own sound.
Yeah.
Way to find it. I know that's right. Anything you guys want to share to the audience, to the listeners?
Y'all stream this music, man.
Yeah, man. That's all I can say. Just listen to the music, stream it, and share it. Stream it, and share it. And folk, everybody in the collective is doing great things. We have a lot of great stuff that's on the cuff of seeing you guys and meeting you guys and welcoming your eardrums to greatness.
Tell us about folk.
Folk?
Tell us about it. Just a little bit.
Folk, I mean, we are folk. Folk is us,
The new parliament.
Okay.
It's a collective of, you know what I'm saying? It's a family, really, to be completely honest. We all come from very similar backgrounds, all have grown collectively over the years, from college, some dating back before college, and especially since we all have been on this LA journey, so it was something that was already in the works, but I think it's very important to be intentional. So we just got a little more intentional, and we're really, bringing everybody together, bringing everybody's strengths together, everybody's weaknesses, putting them all on the table, and yeah, we're creating some greatness. Shout out to my partner in crime, Ike, and everybody involved, from Nick to Hippie to Maze to Jordan to Ryan to Taj to Brandon to Brandon.
So many Brandon.
And then everybody extended, you know, Tally, you know, Rocco,
Yes.
Peso, you know, everybody. So we building something, and that's all. We just getting a little more intentional with it.
Very good.
Folk.
Very good. Folk. Be on the lookout for folk. And on that note, I want to thank my special guest for joining me today on this episode. This is one of my favorite songs from the project, guys. And I really thank you guys for joining us today. Be sure you follow me at Nick Lamar